Welcome back. It's your boy Justin. And I don't know if I should change my name to fucking Justin at this point, but no, we'll keep my YouTube name kind of random. You know what I mean? If it's the lore, you know. There's a video. I actually posted a comment on this video. No one responded, so I guess I can. Of if I can react to this video. Of course I can. That's it. Don't know why I posted that comment. Anyone can react to anything. But we got 14 unspoken rules in FF14. Now, we're gonna review said rules, see if we can relate. Yeah, let's check it out.
Friends, Aitherea here, and today we are talking about the unspoken rules in Final Fantasy XIV.
Let's get it.
So these are kind of like community expectations that
no one
maybe
says.
aren't talked about a ton, but you will get
need to
know
do this,
them
but I won't
as
tell
you
you.
play the game, and every now and then there are conversations about them. But anyways, let's just get into it. So the first one is don't loot and scoot. So what is looting and scooting? This is basically when you are farming something, maybe a mount from an extreme trial, you get the mount and you just dip, just gone by.
Never experienced that.
And people usually consider this to be really rude because, so here's the thing with mount farming, you start with a party of 8, presumably. Probably everybody there needs the mount, wants the mount.
Right.
So if somebody leaves right away after they get their mount, that means another person that needs the mount is probably going to join the party, and everyone else who's left, their chances, their RNG is just the same or worse, right? Where if the person who got the mount stays around a little bit, then when the mount drops again, there's less competition for it, which is why it's considered so rude to loot and scoot. Now, there are some scenarios in which it might seem like you're looting and scooting, but genuinely, you've just got to go. Maybe you can only do 1 or 2 more runs with the group. Just say so. Just be like, hey guys, I've only got 1 or 2 more runs in me. And then if you happen to get lucky and get them out and leave, they're going to know that
it's
you
rude
weren't
to leave
looting and scooting, especially if you'd already been with that group for...
To my knowledge, what she's saying is that you can do like a party finder group and then you're going to get a mount. And then like one person gets them out and there's like, all right, well, I'm out later, and it fucks the other people up because they still have to run the shit and now they can't run it because they're gonna die. That's what I'm getting out of it, you know.
A while, right? Similarly, maybe you've been mount farming for like 2 hours already and it's just you don't want to do it anymore, but you're with a fresh group that you've only done a couple runs with or whatnot, and then you finally get them out and it's like, well, I've been doing this for 2 hours, I don't want to stay any longer.
If it's like Dontrell
I think
or
that's
Walker,
okay. I think it's okay at that point to be like, hey guys, I don't mean to loot and scoot, I'm sorry to leave, but I've been doing this for literally 2 hours now and I just don't want to do it anymore.
It's a long time.
I think it's
2
fair
hours, bro.
to do that. I just think the important part is that you explain to people that you genuinely do have to go and you're not trying to pull a loot.
Communication is
just
something that people need to do more in this game.
Be polite, be considerate, and everything's going to be fine. Next up is a really simple one, but we kind of see it with Sprouts a lot because I just don't know any better, but take the stack marker, the golden arrows, the stack marker, take that to the boss's hitbox. So the reason you want to take your stack marker to the hitbox is just so that melee players are able to still hit the boss while everyone is stacked. It's that simple. And yeah, it's kind of just this thing that people expect you to do.
Well, that's that's true though about the stat marker, but here's the thing about that. Does the Hall of Novice say that? Because bro, this game, in my opinion, doesn't have a good tutorial. They just updated the Hall of Novice and people are taught to bust a shit about it, bro. Like, I don't know if it's just some people talking shit about it, but a lot of people did not like the new Hall of Novice. Even though they explained stat markers. I honestly, this is a good one that she posted here. I will be doing this. Every time I get a stat marker, I just run toward like the general area of the group, but I didn't have that subconscious thought of keeping the melee DPSs attacking, but now I do. That's a good one.
Spoken rule is one for the tanks. It is that people expect you to run in and turn the boss around.
Yeah.
Whatever content you're in, you basically just want to run through the boss and turn it the opposite way.
That's correct.
So that your teammates can run in and already be behind the boss.
Correct.
in a safe spot, ready to just DPS. And kind of going along with that, if you are doing harder content,
that's like an
extremes,
MMO rule, though,
savages, etc., usually it's expected to keep the boss pointed north as much as you can. There's obviously some mechanics that the boss will turn themselves, or you won't be able to have them stay north, but in general, you want to have the boss facing north because that just helps with other mechanics in those fights. Our next unspoken rule is that you should not stand near the tank. If you are standing in front of the boss,
bro, I die by doing that shit, bro.
You're probably going to get hit by something because a lot of bosses have cleaves and things that are really meant for the tanks alone to eat. So stay away from the tanks and stay away from the front of the boss. You should really be standing behind those arrows that are on the side of the boss's hitbox. Otherwise, you're in trouble.
That's actually good
Speaking
information
of
right
where
there.
to stand, the next unspoken rule is do not stand in Narnia. That is to say, don't stand super duper far away from the boss. You really want to stand near the boss because it's a lot safer. It might seem counterintuitive, like, oh, the boss is the scary thing, but I have a whole short video about this talking about how it's so much easier to avoid mechanics when you're close to the boss, and then more importantly,
also that,
your healers can reach you with their AoE heals.
You also have to be in range of your healer. Like, if you look at the skill, only certain Yoms can cover certain distances. So if you're too fucking far away, you won't even hit like the Regen for Scholar, Whispering Dawn be fucked. You won't get anything off. You know what I mean? Because it'll say like or say too far away. You know what I mean? Things like that. But yeah, I mean, I still think that the Hall of Knowledge, I know I'm back in the Hall of Knowledge, but it need to be updated, bro. Like, yes, turning the boss as a tank is a necessity. I mean, it's something that you just do, and when you don't do it, it makes a big difference because turning that boss to facing the north, it's just so important. The best thing to do in this game, honestly, is just to watch a guide. You know what I mean? There's a lot of people who make good guides out there, and that's what you should be doing in FF14 when you first start, is watching a guide on tanking, DPS, and healing, in my opinion.
Because you're not going to annoy healers more than if you are just not within range of their AoEs. It's really frustrating because then they have to spend resources on you when they could be using those resources for everyone.
That's facts.
The next one is for healers, and it is that healers should heal their co-healer when their co-healer gets up from being dead, especially if that co-healer is a shield healer, especially Scholar.
What?
So what sucks about Scholar is that they have both these charges and then they also have their fairy, and whenever they die, so does the fairy, and they have to summon the fairy again, and a lot of their better skills are connected to that fairy.
Yeah.
And so what happens for scholars a lot of the time when they get up is if they don't have charges and obviously they don't have their fairy, they have to slow cast a heal on themselves, which actually makes them vulnerable because the moment that you press any skill, sprint, heal, any type of skill that you have, your immunity, your 5-second invincibility, poof, gone the moment you press a skill.
Yeah.
So that puts them at risk for getting hit by AoEs or other hits. This is also a problem for Sage to some degree. They don't have to worry about the fairy stuff, but they do have charges that they use for their best heals called Adder's Gall. And sometimes they might get up and they might have absolutely no Adder's Gall. They might not have the skill to give them a charge. So it's really helpful if you just give them a heal. And even if the healer is a pure healer, it's the same deal. Like if they're a white mage, they might not have any.
All these things she's saying is true, but all these things should be in the game.
You never really know. Maybe Tetra's on cooldown. It's just nice if you can.
They shouldn't be unspoken rules. They should be rules.
The next unspoken rule is one that I kind of just said in my previous one, which is that when you get up from death, you have this little buff called Transcendent, which makes you invincible for 5 seconds. And within these 5 seconds, you really don't want to press any skills until you have seen that the healer has healed you.
When you die, you kind of want to stand there and don't do anything for
within those 5 seconds. Because if you press a skill, you're going to lose your invincibility, and a raid wide might go out and just kill you again. So if you're ever frustrated because you get up and then immediately...
imagine just like getting rezzed, and then you're just like, so like, say you tilted and you're pissed off that you died, right? For some bullshit, and then you just hit the boss and you die again. Imagine the fucking rage you're gonna have, bro. Like you're gonna be extra pissed off. because like you died on some bullshit, or you died because whatever, mechanics to the AOE, and you get up, you're like, fuck it, and then you just and you're just dead again. That sucks.
You die again. It might be because you press a skill before you're fully healed, and yeah. This next unspoken
what was that image,
rule
bro?
is also for tanks, once again, specifically for co-tanks. When you're co-tanking, try to help
what is that image, bro?
out with mitigation. And what I mean by that is a lot of co-tanks have some skills that they can use on other players. For Warrior, they have something like, I call it National Flash, but it's Nation Flash. Gunbreaker has Aurora,
I can't pronounce shit
stuff
either,
like
bro. I'm horrible.
That you can
just make fun of
give
me all
to the
day.
other
That's
tank to help them
Watch my
mitigate
videos,
tank
bro. You be laughing
busters.
all day.
Similarly, you guys
I
should
can't
take
pronounce
turns
shit.
using Reprisal. I said the best way to annoy healers was by standing in Narnia, but there's actually another great way to annoy them, and that is by not standing in their bubble. All of the healers except for Sage have a bubble that have healing and or mitigation properties. It literally looks like a large shiny dome. Does not matter what job it is. It's just a large shiny dome. Get in there.
That's a badass skill right there. I
That's
love
an
that for
unspoken
Astro,
rule.
bro.
You should
That is
stand in there
sick.
because it helps you and it helps the healer and it helps everyone. Another
Yeah,
unspoken
facts.
rule of this game is that sprouts are precious. They should be treated accordingly, which means that you should be kind,
I'm a sprout, bro.
understanding
I shouldn't
of
be a sprout,
mistakes,
bro.
and helpful.
Okay, look, hear me out, bro. I had the game for like, dude, it has to be over 10 years. I'm still a sprout, bro. That's embarrassing, bro. It's because like I never did MSQ because like I got so involved in like dungeon grinding in this game, and I'll get class leveled up and then I'll get burned out, play a different game, come back to it, you know what I mean, and then I never just focus MSQ, when I should have. So I have like 3,000 hours in the fucking game. I'm still a sprout, bro. Like,
But I think most people are this way. I think sprouts get treated really, really well in this game.
They do.
People love seeing new players. They love seeing them
We
enjoy
need new
the
players,
game. They
man.
want them
Like,
to enjoy
keep
the
the game
game.
alive.
And I think a lot of us just want them to have as good of an experience as we did when we were new. The next unspoken rule is not to just disband good parties just because you're done playing. So I feel like when you're
Interesting. I don't know about
farming
this.
things, whether it's like farming
I haven't got to
mounts
high level
or
content yet.
just farming, like I remember farming chaotic. Sometimes this would happen, but it's
That was
really,
hard
really
as
frustrating
fuck.
when you have a really good group. And instead of the leader, if they're just done playing, they don't want to play anymore, that's fine. Instead of just disbanding the whole group, leave and give somebody else lead so they can just get one new player, because then you lose this whole group of really good players that's been
So
doing
promote
really
the leader?
well, and you have to start completely from scratch, and it's just genuinely so frustrating. So I do think it's an unspoken rule that you just leave on your own and pass lead. I am always surprised, to be honest, when I see people just disband the whole party just because they're done. It's genuinely kind of weird. I don't get it, but I do think it is to some degree an expectation that you don't disband, you just leave and let other people continue the party if they want to. Okay, so this next one is like a really big expectation / unspoken rule, but it does trip people up sometimes, like usually new players who aren't used to this or maybe are still getting used to the game and just learning how to play. But it's that, especially in Shadowbringers dungeons and onwards, tanks are expected to pull wall to wall. So wall to wall is usually 2 pulls before each boss. So it's like big groups of mobs where you take half and then you take the other half before the boss. And yeah, this is an expectation. I'm just going to be honest with you. Anyone who's playing like their max level, they've been playing the game not even that long. I feel like you don't even have to play that long, but it's just how it is. This is just how we do things. And if you're new and you need to take it slow,
Ladies and gentlemen, let's unpack this. Now, this is a big thing here. She's right. Now, the funny thing is, she said at Shadowbringers. This is the start of Shadowbringers, though. I believe people want you to pull wall to wall in ARR. And people don't know how to handle it. You know, the thing about it is that when you're a new player, you think that pulling wall to wall is actually like not good. 'Cause, oh man, like why the fuck are you pulling so much shit? You know, I'm trying to speak it for real. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm trying to think how people are really thinking. I'm trying to tell y'all like how it really be. Like, people be like, well, why are you pulling like so much shit? You know what I mean? And you're just gonna kill our healer and kill our team. We're gonna wipe over and over again. Why not take it slow? But what people lack to understand is that when you pull big, the DPS's skills do more damage. So you want a bigger mob. Are trash mobs dangerous? Yes, they are dangerous. Are you going to keep the tank alive during every fucking trash mob? No. You know what I mean? But here's the thing. Yes, wall to wall is more effective, but here's where the tank comes in, because if you're wiping over and over again, then you need to adjust to that healer, because if not, that's counterproductive, dude, because that means that healer, cannot handle those big pulls, so you need to pull a little bit smaller, so at least you get through the dungeon, bro. So that's another thing about being a tank, is that you have to really gauge your healer, and even though you want to pull wall to wall, you may have to step it down a little bit just to get through the dungeon.
That's totally okay. Just tell the group, I'm new, I'm still learning, still figuring out what to do. But I would also encourage you to just try it, right? Like, the worst thing that's going to happen is that you're going to die.
Doesn't matter.
And then decide to take it slower after that. But that is definitely
people don't want to wipe.
The
You have to understand, wiping is
that
part of the game.
in any dungeon that allows for it, you wall to wall. Another unspoken rule is that it's okay, even expected, to go into a normal mode fight without knowing the fight first, having watched a video guide or any sort of guide at all.
But blind run?
Now, this is not true for Extreme Trials, Savage, Ultimate Criterion.
I wouldn't do that, no.
Anything with, a higher difficulty level, people do expect you usually to watch a guide. But for all other content in the game, it is pretty much acceptable and or expected that you go into it blind. And the reason I really wanted to bring this one up is because
there we go.
I feel like there are a lot of people who feel almost as if they're a burden because they're new to the fight. And even some friends that I have will wait for there to be guides before they'll go into normal modes. And
that's crazy.
Personally, I think it's such a shame. Obviously, do whatever you are most comfortable with. But for me, I think that the fights are the most fun the first time you ever do them and you don't know what the mechanics are. You're puzzling them.
It's trial and error. It's like playing Dark Souls.
You might actually wipe a couple
You're gonna
times.
fuck up.
That's exciting to
You're
me.
gonna get owned.
That's fun to me. And if I watched a guide
just roll
beforehand,
with the punches, bro.
that would take away so much of the fun. And I think so many people feel the same way as I do.
Just
and
play the
it's really
damn
not a
thing.
big deal because the fights just aren't that hard. Like, you might wipe
They're
once,
not.
maybe twice if they really try to challenge us with a new fight.
On
but
normal,
overall,
not.
it's like not going to take that long to clear, probably. So yeah, it's expected, maybe even encouraged for people to just go in blind and just try to learn the mechanics on their own and just have fun.
You can't get mad at people about that either, bro.
And finally, the last unspoken rule that we're going to...
You can't get mad either, bro. Like... Stone Vigil. So, like, you're going to watch a guide on Stone Vigil, right? For your first time, after everything you do, bro, it's not that serious. Like, you're going to die at FF14. I tell my friends this. I tell people this all the fucking time. You are going to die. Okay? You are not going to live. You're going to fuck up, and you're going to wipe. It's going to happen. And the more that you say it's not going to happen, the more you think that, like, it's so bad. When it does happen, it's going to hit you even harder. Okay? You play Dark Souls. You heard Elden Ring. A lot of hard games. Neo, right? These are games that are really challenging that you're just expected to die. Trial and error is key in this game, just like it is in Dark Souls. You know what I mean? Those who don't know what Dark Souls is, play it. Just play it. You know what I mean? That's what it is. You know what I mean? And no, blind runs, you think you're a burden? Bro, easiest way to solve this entire problem of this unspoken rule. Communication. Hey, I'm new. Hey, my first time. That's it. And the veteran players, even though you don't say nothing that you're new, they're gonna know you're new. You know how? It's because when we start a duty, you know what I mean, it says that one of our players is new to this duty, and you can kind of just tell. You know what I mean? You can tell who's new, who's not. And specifically, you can tell by who is doing the mechanics and who just stands there and gets like completely fucked.
Talk about is actually a little spicy. And it's the idea that you should, for the most part, be following the tank in dungeons. Now, you can run ahead if you want to, but I would say you probably shouldn't aggro the mobs. And this is where it gets spicy.
Don't aggro the mobs.
Because there is
Don't aggro
this
the mobs.
controversy, I guess, within the game.
No,
about
not really.
if you pull it, you tank it. So some people
Are you kidding me,
can
bro?
get a little bit petty.
I mean, okay, well look. Yes, if you pull, you tank it. But like, am I gonna let a DPS die because they pull something? Probably not. It would be kind of an asshole move to do that. You know what I mean? I get the mentality. Like, you shouldn't be running past the tank and pulling shit of your DPS. This game has a structure. It has the Holy Trinity. You know, you should know that the tank goes first and pulls aggro. You as the DPS need to get in line. Sounds fucked up, but you need to get in line and you need to wait for the tank to pull first. You know what I mean? Because that tank could not be like me, because I don't let anyone die. You know, if a Dragoon throws a harpoon and pulls a mob and attacks it, I won't sit there like, well, hey, you pulled it, you take it, bitch. Fuck you. No, I'm gonna go in there, get the aggro, and let's not wipe. Let's get this shit done. You know what I mean? That's an asshole mentality. But players that do that, hey, you know what I mean? Like, unless you don't know, you don't know. But at a certain point in the game, you have to understand, and someone's gonna tell you. You know, don't think you're. People in this game are very vocal. So if you're a DPS and you're pulling mobs constantly, someone will say something. Let's just say that.
Where if they're the tank and other people go and pull mobs before the tank has reached them or feels ready, they get a little bit upset about that and they decide that they're not going to take aggro off those people and just people or person and
don't let people die though.
Get killed by the mobs.
That's not
now, I'm
good.
going to give you my take on this one. Generally, I do think that you should let the tank be the leader of the dungeon. If you're a healer and you want to run ahead, you can run ahead for two reasons. One is just to help you keep up with the tank.
Right.
Because some of them are really balls to the wall. They know what they're doing. They're going fast. But then the other reason would be to show tanks that you feel comfortable taking more mobs. Because in some dungeons, you will come across tanks who really defer to the healer, where they're like, you know, do you feel comfortable doing this? If not, we'll go slower.
Some do
if
that.
you run ahead, you can kind of show them, like, I am good with anything. I can heal all of this. It's totally fine. But I do still, in general, think that it is more respectful and polite and considerate to just let the tank go at their own pace, because sometimes you do come across new players who aren't quite comfortable with that, and I would say in that case, just communicate. Don't run ahead and pull the mobs. Just communicate in the chat. Say, hey, I can heal all this. I can support you. I think our team can do it. Let's try it. And if we wipe, then we'll go slower.
Veer,
you know, there's no reason not to at least try, especially because, like I said, in one of the past Unspoken rules, it is an expectation to be taking more mobs. So this is a good opportunity for you to practice. We support you. We're not going to like push you or force you, but we would encourage you to do this. And if we can't do it, then we'll go slow, right? I think it's better to just communicate than to just run ahead and pull the mobs, because you don't really know where that person is at. I think another issue I take with people doing this is that some people are just rushing, and you're not even making the dungeon that much faster, in my opinion.
Hold on, wait a minute.
Like, I get it.
Hold on, wait. Can you get rid of this? Sorry, I mean, I'm Unk. I'm 32. I'm not very tech savvy. God damn it! If I can get rid of this shit, I can.
Aren't necessarily that.
Sorry, guys. We're gonna make it go away here. I don't know if you can see it.
Interesting, and you kind of want to get it over and done with. But unless the tank is like genuinely going molasses,
look right
slow,
there on the bottom
rarely,
right, bro.
Rarely ever happens. Like, you know this.
She has $9 million, bro. Like $9 million. That's a lot of gil, dude. Holy shit. maybe because I don't craft and I'm not like done with the game. Yeah, I'm not in game at all, and I'm still probably MSQ on Shadowbringers. Maybe that's not a lot of money, but to me, bro, the amount of money she has in the bottom right of the screen is fucking insane.
Situations where you get to the boss and you're just standing there for a while and like, why aren't we pulling it? That's the only case in which I would say, you know what, go ahead and pull it. Go ahead and pull it, right? Because it's like, why are we standing around? But if they're still moving, like, there's no need for you to like sprint or en avant or whatever the heck to get ahead of the tank just so you can pull more mobs.
Oh
like,
yeah, that gap
I just
closing.
don't really see the point of doing that, especially because it can cause problems.
You can die.
Yeah, that's kind of my take on it, is I think that everybody involved should just be less petty and just communicate. Like, if you are the tank and someone does pull more than you expect or than you want or than you feel comfortable
I'm glad she's talking about this.
You don't need to be petty and let them die. Just try your best. And if you guys all wipe, then that's going to be proof. And you can follow it up and say, hey, I don't really feel comfortable with that many. I'm not really capable of that yet. Can we go slower? Like, it's not that hard. Most of us playing are adults, so I don't see why this is as big of a deal as it is.
You would think, but there could be some kids on here.
But it's like a huge controversy that people get kind of really mad
It's
over.
annoying.
On both sides of the spectrum,
annoying.
People get really mad about people pulling ahead, and then people get really mad about other people being like, "No, I'm not gonna help
really
you because
mad.
you pulled ahead and I wasn't ready
Like
for
toxic.
that." And you're rushing
Like,
too
goddamn,
much.
bro.
But yeah, those are all of the unspoken rules that I could think of. If you guys can think of any others, I would love to hear them. Please leave them in the comments.
you
Please
covered
consider
everything pretty
leaving a
much.
sacrifice to Lord Algorithm in the form of a like, comment, share, or subscribe. As always, thank you.
You know what? I mean, I'm reacting to your video, so I liked your video, and I'll subscribe to your channel. I think that's fair, right? Engagement. You know, before I end the video, you know, let the tank do what they want. You know what I mean? As a healer, I have my white mage level 100. Fuck yeah. I got my I got my Sage level 100. Let's go. Scholar 86, Astro 68, and I'm in Shadowbringers MSQ, so you know I do a lot of fucking dungeon grinding. I started running with the tank recently, and it's pretty badass. But the thing about it is, in closing, she's right. Let the tank do what the fuck they want to do. Don't be a dick. You know what I mean? You know, when you're tanking, you are the leader of the party, and it is unspoken rule. It's a little disrespectful when you first of all communicate. You know, you can tell a tank, hey, pull bigger, pull this, pull that. You know what I mean? But don't just like sprint in front of the whole damn map and then force somebody into a really bad situation. You know what I mean? But yes, wall to wall is required in this game, and you will learn that. You know, and you'll learn it whether you like it or not. I know it sounds like an asshole thing to say, but even when you're low level, healers and tanks will pull mobs into you if you're pulling like only one mob at a time or two mobs at a time. You know what I mean? And they'll bring it to you. And then that's how you're gonna like mentally know, like, okay, shit, obviously maybe I need to pull more. But it's a gradual thing, and then as you play the game, you're gonna want to pull more anyway, because you know that's just a better way to go about it. But anyway, great video. All these are true, and I got no disagreement with her or her takes, so legit. And yeah, great video. It's your boy Justin. I'm out. Peace.